Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Bears going up against the Cowboys. With that, let's hand it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call on this Week 3 matchup.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Chicago Bears and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. It's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The first carry for the tailback, Jeremy Langford. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And when you talk about this offense, you, of course, have to talk about Alshon Jeffrey.
Long, agile, he makes any quarterback that much better.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Langford again. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
That call was actually a linebacker's dream. A draw play when you're blitzing, because they're trying to set up and fool you into thinking it's a pass, but because they're doing so, they're actually opening up a crease for you to get through and get to the ball carrier. An excellent play for the linebacker.
The first carry here for Jacquizz Rodgers. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. Now Pat O'Donnell, the third-year man from Miami, to kick it away. Lucky Whitehead back deep for Dallas. Taking it about the 16. Slips past him.
Where'd he go?
It looked like he might beat that last man. He doesn't, though, but it goes as a 32-yard return. And that will come the offense as they take over. So here the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the 14-year NFL veteran, the Cowboys' all-time leading passer, Tony Romo.
And let's face it, not only has he had a really good career in Dallas, he's a personal favorite of Jerry Jones. I mean, in fact, it wasn't just the other day. Jerry said, I expect Tony to be our starter for the next 4 or 5 seasons.
And I scratched my head and said, gosh, 5. That would put him over 40 if he was the starting quarterback that long.
That tells you how much he likes him, how much he trusts him, and how much he believes in him.
Okay, starting lineup time offensively, Charles, for the Dallas Cowboys.
And how about them at number 4 in the 2016 draft? Big needs on the defensive line, and they go with the running back.
They go star power.
They went star power, but Ezekiel Elliott, in a lot of ways, was exactly the right decision. When they had winning success in 2014, they did it running the football. Elliott can do that for him again.
He'll get only a couple down to the 44. Jarrell Freeman in on the stop. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down.
Ready, right 20, right 20. Go!
Romo on 3rd down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. He was looking for Terrence Williams that time. And it's 4th down.
third down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Second down, they need less than a yard to pick up the first. So Langford the carry there. Fourth-round pick last year with Forte vacating to New York. A lot of the spotlight on Langford.
A lot of running backs have possibilities in Chicago. If he can emerge and eat up carries, I think he'll produce in a big way.
So third down, just 1 yard to go. They'll try to run for the first with Langford. And he is going to lose yardage here. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down.
And, partner, in a lot of short yardage situations, you'll see the linebackers step up into the gaps, what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, to make sure they take away all spaces, all creases. That one worked really well for them.
Only needed a yard, instead went backwards. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. He'll look to set up his blockers. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3-and-out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. Just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3-and-out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3-and-out. I went 3-and-out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. They come out here in the eye. There's the fullback now. It's Keith Smith. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
To me, that's a superior play by the backer because he was allowed to, I think, run free on it and make that play. His defensive linemen, they covered things down for him because offensive guys, the linemen, what they're trying to do, as you know, is block the guy at the point of attack and then climb to the next level and get the linebacker. And you're not allowed to climb. You got a free hitter, and that's what we saw there. And a really nice play resulted for them.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards, and that's going to make it fourth down. So we've reached the end of a fairly even first quarter of play. Nothing. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a fourth down situation. NFL teams last year a little under 50% on fourth down conversions. This is a bit tougher. 4th and 4.
Here we go, go!
They are going for it. It's Romo going up top. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last drive, 3-and-out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How did they break that goose egg?
They've got to find it.
And down he goes. A sack. They sack him back across midfield at about the 48-yard line.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, Oftentimes, the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. So completion on second down, that brings up third. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that. Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball. I know that in recent years, it's been tough on Tony Romo. A lot of injuries have piled up, but he's still able to sling it, Brandon. Look at that throw. Yeah, he can. By the way, you know his given name on his birth certificate?
Hit me.
Antonio Ramiro Romo.
That flows together.
He's got a good ring,
well,
so I'm going to start calling him Antonio.
The lyrical one.
Here's Romo. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the first.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. But it doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
And another reception by Jason Witten, all reliable for Tony Romo. You know what they say, partner? Once you get your first 1,000 catches, it's all gravy after that.
Yeah, one of 2 tight ends. He and Tony Gonzalez in the 1,000-catch club in the tight end department.
White 18! White 18!
On 1st and 10, Romo. And he floats one there, incomplete. Lucky Whitehead, his intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Second and 10. Romo once more. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. So a pause here for us as well. Time to pay some bills. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with Larry Ridley for highlights and analysis of our first half of play. Not too many highlights yet, at least in terms of scoring plays, that is.
Yeah, but hang in there. We might get something these last 2 minutes.
He's got time. Looking for the end zone. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
18.
Throwing on 3rd down, Romo. And that's caught by Beasley. 17 yards on the pickup there and also a 1st down. We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
Let's go now.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well. And most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know exactly why. They got the look that they were seeking, and they were able to take advantage of it.
Cole Beasley, the intended target, and it's second down.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
They'll fake the give. Now Romo. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead, it just brings up fourth down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. And barely able to knock it through. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. And Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Let's go! 3-19!
On second down, Langford. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Hoyer. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. And a play like that, with how far he had to go to make that sack, shows how athletic defensive ends have become in the NFL.
And not just athletic. This is coached in a big way. Run to the football at all times. How about him never giving up on it and pursuing all the way across the field?
So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3. And never mind, Larry. These 2 teams apparently anxious to get back at it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Now it's Lucky Whitehead on the return. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. We focus our attention on the Bears defense now. They're losing here as we begin the third quarter, trying to stop this from being a bigger deficit.
I used to play for a coach who always talked about getting the other team's attention. And in this case, they want to let them know that you're going to do the dictating from here on out, not the other way around.
Trying to impose their will as we start the third. And I guess, Charles, sometimes when you have a receiver well over 6 foot, you do that. Just put it up there, let him grab it, and he did.
And it certainly appears like a 50-50 ball, right? We always talk about that when both sides have a chance to get it, the receiver or the guy covering him. But I think the odds actually are in favor of the offense. They can see the ball coming oftentimes before the defender can get his head around. So I think that really goes to like 70-30, and they should be able to go up and get it most of the time.
And he got it there.
In my book, that's running the ball well but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
3rd and 2, it's Romo. He's going to look deep down the field. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Cowboys. Their dangerous wide receiver, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Dan Bailey now for the extra point.
Brandon, they just got the ball, and already they're in the end zone, and you're getting ready to talk about the PAT. That was fast.
A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards. And the gadget play gets him into the end zone. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They run with Langford. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. So the offense dealing with a 3rd and 6.
And that's another stop for the defense. Something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And down he'll go at the 25. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Pulled in at the 24. Oh, spinning away. Spins past another.
Oh, my man.
So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
Going right side, he has Witten. Touchdown, Cowboys! Jason Witten, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. The tight end can kind of be that diamond in the rough secret weapon that you have, and right there they show you why.
And it's becoming less of a secret, isn't it, partner? Every game that we do nowadays, the tight end is a featured receiver, not just a blocker, as in the days of old.
He's got it, and it's 17-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The defense for the Cowboys getting set to go. They were able to force that 3-and-out. That led to a touchdown. Defenses obviously love 3-and-outs. They want more of that.
They created a very short and not too sweet stint for the offense by getting them off the field that fast, but it set up their own offense, gave them a little spark, and they took it downfield and scored.
Now the question, can they do it again? Let's see. Eddie Royal is intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. The lone setback is Langford. And they'll give it to him here. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Randy Gregory in there to drop it for his second sack now here tonight.
That's his second sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 33. He will not go down.
Have to retape those ankles.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Cowboys with a football. They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the fourth.
Set, left 35.
They start on the ground with Elliott. A gain of 3, second down. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
On second down, Elliott uses the stiff arm. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, giving them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. They'll try the air now with Romo. And that's off the mark, incomplete. He was trying to get it to Ezekiel Elliott, and it's third down. So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third.
Let's go now. Left 30.
Now a play fake, and it's Romo. And it's caught right at the 10-yard line. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Ready, right 20, right 20.
Out of the gun, Romo. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down. One man in the backfield, Elliott. Second and goal to go now. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down. 6 plays got him down here. This is play number 7, third and goal.
Here we go, left 35.
Now the fifth-year man, this is Lance Dunbar. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the lead now increases to 20-0. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Hoyer. The catch made by Miller. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Now Hoyer, he's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. He'll look to throw. And down he goes. A sack. They sack him back across midfield at about the 48-yard line. And the offense now will try to regroup after the sack on second down. And on third down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Here's Hoyer. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it would appear the Cowboys are going to win this football game. Getting set to go again, Tony Romo marches back onto the field. And after a rough start, as we take a peek at the numbers, he's going in the right direction now.
So often when you see a game start the way we saw this one start for him, you just wonder if he's got a chance to bring it back at all, and that's exactly what he's done. Love seeing that happen simply because you know a guy has struggled, and now he's found a way.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy.
They isolate Jeffrey to the left side. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Out of the gun now on third down. And that is incomplete.
Very difficult night for the guys on offense. They've got to be looking at each other in the huddle and on the sidelines. How are we going to find some open space to complete a pass and find open room to run? This defense all night long has squeezed down the passing lanes, made plays on the football. It's really been a thing of beauty for them. He's got to figure all day long prepping for the game. They had to have talked about it again and again. Squeeze passing lanes and we'll be in great shape.
That's pulled in at the 32. Look at this spin.
Balance.
Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And possession will change here with very little time remaining in this contest. And out now come the Cowboys. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that...
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Here we go, here we go. Black 35. Black 35.
Romo going to throw it. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Fresh set of downs here. The story.
Kick off your week by installing your game plan. Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team. Kick off your week by installing your game plan. Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. For two teams outside each other's division, this matchup has evolved into one of the great rivalries in the NFL. It should be a thrilling contest, and we can't wait to bring you the action. It's the Cowboys going up against the 49ers. With that, let's get out west to Santa Clara, where we say hello to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, from the heart of Silicon Valley, there's a look inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they enter play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the 14-year NFL veteran, the Cowboys' all-time leading passer, Tony Romo.
And let's face it, not only has he had a really good career in Dallas, he's a personal favorite of Jerry Jones. I mean, in fact, it wasn't just the other day. Jerry said, I expect Tony to be our starter for the next 4 or 5 seasons.
And I scratched my head and said, gosh, 5, that would put him over 40 if he was the starting quarterback that long.
That tells you how much he likes him, how much he trusts him, and how much he believes in him.
Second down now after the incompletion.
Let's go now. White 18. White 18.
Second and 10. Romo once more. And a little floater there is incomplete. And the 49ers on the defensive side of the football.
Eric Armstead was a big-time high school basketball player turned into college football All-American. Now they're counting on him in the NFL to fulfill his promise.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Back to throw. Romo. He's going to float this over the middle deep and almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. And not great starting field position here for the offense. They come out with one back and three tight ends. First carry for Carlos Hyde. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. Cedric Thornton, the one that got him down.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coach was always saying, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
Gabbard will give to his fullback, Miller. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
The end result was brute force on brute force. But think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle on the big guy.
3rd down, Carlos Hyde. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
Take it at the 37. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. And the 49ers defense gets ready here as they trot back out there. They have a little something to build off of from last time with a 3-and-out.
And what they have to build off of? Great confidence right now. Being able to stuff someone on a 3-and-out. You feel like you're in control now. You're doing the dictating. They want to see if that can continue as this game progresses.
Will it continue? We'll see. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done. When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. Romo throwing again. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. Romo now to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Terrence Williams, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30, right about the 29. And now we get our first look at a guy who's been around the block a time or two. He will not be rattled today.
And that changes things for a defensive coordinator, because normally when you get the young guys, you get the rookies, you throw all the exotic blitzes at them and looks they haven't seen. But this guy, he's seen it all.
They'll run the bottled up fumble. It's out. It's loose. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. You know, it's kind of interesting, the fumble there for the Niners. Last year in 2015, fewest in the league lost, only 5 of them.
And had a record that would suggest that they have a bunch of them, right? So it's really counterintuitive when you think about it. To only have 5 fumbles and really have the struggles they had during that season.
On the left side, he finds Beasley. 12 yards there as they move the chains. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Illegal touching. Offense.
Let's go now. White 18. White 18.
Here's Romo now on second down. And he floated one out there, incomplete. Ten yards to go on third. Throwing on third down, Romo. He's got his man. It's Williams. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Bailey now to kick this one away. Here comes Bruce Ellington on the return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That could be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I can't help it. I'm just sitting back in admiration right now. This defense tells everyone that plays against them, you're not beating us running the football. That's who we are. That's what we're about. It's not going to happen. If you're going to beat us, you better pick another way.
A play fake to Hyde. Now Gabbert. And he will go down. A Cowboy sack. Randy Gregory in there there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DM.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
This is fielded at the 7. Oh, look at the juke. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good. So they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
That was a nice play by the defense, but the offense can't let that one play define them. Let it go, move on, and start over again.
Here we go, here we go. Right, 20.
Romo, a delayed give to Elliott. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go.
But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
From the gun on 3rd down, Romo. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play there on 3rd down. 43 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. My good friend Charles and I right back at you after this.
Set, left 35.
Now Tony Romo on 1st down. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turn. All right, Charles, as a former defensive back, how disheartening to actually catch it, but just not be able to stay in bounds there defensively.
Well, extremely, because, you know,
it took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. That's caught at the 3. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath, sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can he?
Yeah, he can indeed, and pretty well executed there. Romo looks to throw on 3rd and 1. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. And the Cowboys will call on Dan Bailey here. This just a 24-yard attempt. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So the drive takes him inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. Now it's Ellington to return. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give
the big fella. Touchdown, 49 It's McDonald, 76 yards. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly for 6. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. A beautiful fake. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line.
Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
Getting set to go again, Tony Romo marches back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
On 1st and 10, Romo. He's going to wind up and air it out. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Terrence Williams, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one taken just inside the 10. And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
To throw is Gabbert. And Salakir left side. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Back 22. Back 22.
A 2nd down throw for Gabbert. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. On 3rd down, Gabbert. And he's not able to get away. Gabbert sacked. Rolando McClain. Able to drop it for a loss of 12, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. And apparently that's all, Larry. So much for the halftime report. We'll see you in the postgame. ready to get to the third quarter. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Now it's Ellington to return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Hyde, the lone man in the backfield. He's going to get the football. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Now Gabbert. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Randy Gregory in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there. It's been a struggle this entire game trying to move the ball on the ground. But every now and then you find a little chink in the armor, and that type of run right there lets them know that they can't stop every single run for almost no gain.
Gabbert to throw it. He dumps it to Hyde. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It'll be a gain of 9, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. A great return there of 22 yards. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense,
we
got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Now Romo, and he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion. They come out here in the eye. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. Here's Ellington. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Gabbert from the gun on 3rd down. Cowboys sack. Tyrone Crawford coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now this is fielded in the end zone. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10.
Let's go now. Black 35. Black 35.
Romo here on 1st down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's the Cowboys with the football. They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the 4th.
We got three, folks. Ready. White 18. White 18.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Fighting through. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Here's Romo. He's going to air one out. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the veteran Antoine Bethea. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to...
And he's going to be sacked back on his side of the field at the 44. Demarcus Lawrence. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will. Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. From the gun, Gabbert surveying the field. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Whether they deserve credit or not, the defense is going to take credit for that incompletion because it always feels good when you slow down an offense.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Desperation time. Gabbert on 4th. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Cowboys defense is going to get him the football back. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
One man in the backfield, Elliott. And he'll get it up the middle. Ooh, with a juke. He won't go down. Still going. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. A big play there out of the running game. 32 yards.
At halftime, you had to feel like the defense had to be in a good position. They had to feel good about themselves. They'd had this guy boxed in all game long, but after that run, that might be the breakthrough that he's looking for. Now they may have some difficulty dealing with him the rest of today.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down.
Let's go now. Right 20. Right 20. Go.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling.
Black 35. Black 35.
Plays 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Throwing on 3rd down, Romo. And Beasley's got it. Touchdown, Cowboys. Cole Beasley, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Here's Bailey now for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4. And now they're in the hurry-up. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, Makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there. I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This will be fielded at the 17. Look at the spin. Oh, another spin.
Hard to line him up when he does that.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now here come the Cowboys. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Offense needs something here on 2nd down. It is 2nd and long.
Set. Black 35. Black 35. Go.
They'll give to the fullback on the dive. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
They come out here in the eye.
18. Right, 18.
They'll run it now with Dunbar. Oh, little 360. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll run it with Elliott. Oh, he shifts past him. And some room to work. Legs still churning.
Like a giant pinball.
And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Dallas, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Niners, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals. So that's Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say so long from Santa Clara.